Hello, my name is Mrs. Taylor. I'm a teacher at Sheffield Girls and I'm going to talk to you about the GCSE Business Studies course. Why study business? There are 5.5 million businesses in the UK, and so the chances are students will either work in one or own one of those in the future. And so by studying business, they'll get an understanding of how businesses operate and run. On top of that, business at university is one of the biggest areas covering areas such as accountancy, law, marketing, and so the GCSE Business Studies course dips into lots of those areas. On top of that, GCSE Business helps students to develop skills that businesses want. It requires students to think critically, to solve problems, and use quantitative skills, all of which are important when looking for jobs. Is business right for me? As I've already mentioned, GCSE Business encourages students to think critically and solve problems and use quantitative skills. The course is assessed through written exams, and so it's important for students to be able to communicate their ideas clearly on paper. We encourage students to take an interest in BBC Business News and link the new terminology that they learn in business to what they see in the real world. So one way that students who choose to study business in GCSE could prepare for the course is by reading the BBC Business News. So how is the course structured? The course is split up into two themes. Theme 1 is investigating small business and Theme 2 is growing a business. And I'll go through this in a bit more detail. So each theme has its own exam paper. Theme 1 has paper 1 and Theme 2 has paper 2. Both papers are 1 hour and 45 minutes and both papers follow the same structure. There's section A, a section B and a section C. Section B and C both uses a case study and tests students' ability to apply their knowledge and analyse and evaluate it. Whereas section A, there's no case study and it just requires students to show their knowledge and be able to analyse that knowledge. What will I learn? In Theme 1, we look more at small business, and students will develop an understanding of how businesses are created, how entrepreneurs come up with their business ideas, how they develop the business, and we go through and look at how businesses conduct market research, the different types of market research that they can do, and then we move on and we start to look at some of the finance that businesses need to be able to do, such as break even, cash flow forecasting. We then move on and we look at types of ownership, such as sole traders and private limited companies and franchises. And then we end Theme 1 looking at the external environment, looking at how the economic environment impacts on business, such as consumer spending, interest rates, exchange rates, and so on. So in Theme 2, we look at larger businesses and we look at public limited companies and we look at how businesses grow through organic growth and external growth. We then look at how we look at the different departments within a business, such as operations, marketing, finance, and human resources. So we like to use as many local businesses as possible, and we start the Year 10 course by bringing in about 3 or 4 local businesses, and students spend about 15 or 20 minutes with each entrepreneur looking at why they started the business, what they enjoy about running their own business, what skills and qualities they have, and what they find difficult about running a business. And then later on in the course, we bring another 3 or 4 entrepreneurs in, and students find out about why they set their business up with the type of ownership that they did. So we'll bring in a sole trader, we bring in a private limited company, and we bring in a franchise. And so then students with a bit more business knowledge get to talk to those entrepreneurs and find out a bit more about their business. What can I do after the course? So Business Studies helps to give students many transferable skills, such as critical thinking, problem solving, quantitative skills, and good communication skills. So it's perfect for students that want to continue studying business, but it's also good for students that want to go off and do other courses, because those skills are needed in many different courses and not just business. Every year we have a variety of trips. Generally they're within the UK, but every couple of years we will have a trip abroad. So one year students went to New York. We also run extracurricular clubs, and there are a variety of those for students to choose. So I'm the main teacher in business, and I have been teaching for over 15 years. I'm also a senior examiner for EdExcel on the GCSE course, and have been marking the Paper 1 exam for quite a few years now. So I've got a good understanding of what students need to do in order to do well in the final exams. The other teachers in the department are Mr. Coote, who's the subject leader, and Mr. Spick. They tend to more specialise on the economics side, but they do occasionally take a couple of lessons in either Year 10 or possibly Year 11. We have an open door policy, so students can come and speak to us whenever they feel like they need to. We run weekly business clinics. We also provide one-to-one support if students need it, and a wide range of resources that are built on our knowledge of the exam.